Hello, I'm Nia.
晚安啊，我来看尼亚。哦，装了 mod 之后声音好像变大了，好神奇啊！有些声音突然变得好大，还是有啊？我刚放大了一下肢体。
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade.
再加上我换了那个，我另外装那个，我去 Steam， 我去巴哈那边找那个找他额外找繁中字体来装，所以他这个字体有变。再来翻译内容也改了。我才知道他那个米康，他不是有个米康主义吗？他那个米康主义其实指的就是共产主义。所以我不知道为什么要把它翻成米康啦，不过他米康主义就是共产主义。
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different
我觉得字好像太大了。
But some of the stations can be quite interesting.
导致他这个对话
I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
如果对话多一点的话，那个字体会
As you wish. Till next time.
对话内容如果多一点的话，整个就被压掉。不是呀。
Oh, it's you again. Did you try knocking on my window before? Are you looking for a die? Yes. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind? I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here.
做头子的匠人。
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
不过这个窗户蛮高的，我就觉得其实他除非他站起来啊，要不然应该也是看不到后院，除非他站起来看。
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
一个头子要10块钱，好贵哦！而且我不知道头子有什么作用。等到。
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. What do you mean by cursed?
商业区受到诅咒。
All right. How about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? All right, maybe some other die then. I think I have just the right one for you.
Police colors.
Not the most original, I know, but sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer.
She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves.
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
知道输60万没破产。
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Central project.
那顾客也付不起账单，你是讲你家弟弟啊？卖闹啊！你指的顾客是你吧？
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
说老实说，我是不太相信诅咒这种东西啦。但是，但是这4个选项好像让诅咒确实是存在这种感觉，你知道吗？我不知道该怎么选。
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse, it's capitalism.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
基本上我是不相信诅咒这种人。
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
然后我发觉这几个都不是好东西呢。跟那个什么啊，民族主义者对话学时候，像简易士气，然后如果摄取酒精就，他这边好像也这个好像有点问题，酒精加了体我是看不太懂，然后这后面全部都是扣能力的。虽然说我技能3的学习为3，但是问题是要扣一个那个天人感应跟内陆帝国扣1。我后面这几个都不是什么好东西。然后缩放比例加20%是哪招？我也看不太懂。我也不懂它意义，缩放比例加20%怎样？然后这个倒是还比较可以接受啦。就五感发达加3，但是扣1博学多闻。就拿一点的博学多闻去换3点的五感发达。但我不确定五感发达到底是不是好，到底有没有？目前为止还没有需要用到五感发达的地方，所以我不确定它的五感发达到底有什么好用的。
Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
哇，天人感应，啊，天人感应真的。
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
Me neither. I just wanted off my face. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
所以这就是昆诺需要的，哈哈，那个死小鬼。
Kuno? Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
那个嘴讲那个嘴很脏的小孩。
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
帮助这个小孩基本上恐怕是不够。
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
这个是，那是这个国家毒品泛滥到居然还可以有这种传闻哦！全地沙袋里面装满了安非他命，这是要多少钱啊？一整个沙袋的安非他命，我操！
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
那甲虫翅膀做的衣服实在是可怕的生意，可怕的主意。
At least it had some spark to it. Most young designers just combine lace with leather and call it original.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashkor or wherever he is. The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just the props. Why return them?
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
要塞事故，那个无限游戏工作室。
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. The usual, they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
纯按时上班确实蛮困难的。
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed, what were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Sounds like she really doesn't know how to be a female ally. Fritte does the same thing.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishell Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
我杀了那只熊。
You did what? Of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherium.
干燥剂，哈？干燥剂磕害了的时候，就有人磕干燥，为什么有人磕干燥剂？
Sounds cool. Why is everyone doing drugs in this place? Even the taxidermist?
Megatherium, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. Anything else? Oh boy, the place.
Indeed. What would...
That was really penned by...
Sounds like she Fritta does the same thing.
那个熊的选项没有了，好吧，那算了。
Employings, and they already, of course not. Eventually, Ravishell Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé didn't, maybe, because the taxidermist who made the bear definitely wasn't. Doing his job, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast.
Sounds... Why is everyone doing drugs in this place?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Very good. Anyway, anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call de-whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
His disdain for pinball could not be clearer.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or...
A prank is more likely, no? Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. It can't be true. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Oh, right. But did this person say anything? Tricentennial used to be...
No, it was too real to be just a prank. Either we're...
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. Why would Slipstream SEA have a 100-year-old recording as their doorbell message? Doesn't make any sense. I'm still convinced it was nothing more than some elaborate prank.
My money's on electrical anomaly. I've heard of these, especially in an old building like this.
Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure I'm good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
这是中国地图界面。睡着的码头工人，垃圾箱。哇，好多！这些白色建立，对我来说难度都好高，到时候没看到就好。这些都是失败的。最少的码头工人在哪边呢？哇塞！这事这样就算了，毫无可能。有挑战性的话可以试看，不过在哪边呢？地图墙，地图墙在哪？哦，杠铃。好，我该下去了。
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now.
Yes.
Yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
失败接了古维塔，他是在从之前输点吸取生命能量。我还选哪个比较好？
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us.
我先跟他讲实话，然后大家读就知道。
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity? A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
还有更恶毒的存在，正在幕后操纵整个马丁内斯。
A third order presence, yes.
A great, dark relief washes over her.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in public.
反正他也是很相信的。
I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues. In other waters, darker waters.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
我这边这是我在读，如果读取跟他直接说事实。让他说实话怎么样？他说：“其实诅咒这种东西根本没有什么诅咒，就只是有个人在上面，有个投掷匠人在上面做投掷而已，什么都没有。”
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting. Yes, yes.
Tell her how ghastly it
这是个垃圾
was.
场，没什么好
You
看的，
know
就
it's
成
what
对
she
了垃圾，
wants.
这里需要那点阳光。
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity? A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Something I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom?
The narrative she's built herself. Just don't say to hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Wait, what? The entire economic system is cursed?
好，算了，我已经放弃了。总之，你不管跟他说什么，他都会把它归类成诅咒。你不管跟他说什么，他都会归类成诅咒。
This is a lot for her to pass.
这么久啊，这死了，这真正死了而已了。这已经感恩师傅，赞叹师傅啊！这么久啊，这。直接放弃有没有？真的是完全放弃跟他解释。
Another revolution? I understand what's going on here. You went in there, rummaged around, and accomplished nothing. And it's okay. You don't have to. I was wrong to trust another. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
Wow. Total psychic. There was never any other way this could have gone.
I am sorry we had to
Hey. Psst. Yes, you. Word on the street
对啊，这
is
直接
you're
电
ready
死，
to
这个没有
start
救了。
building communism again.
好啦，我那就直接骗他骗到底吧。我直接读取这个快速存档，直接骗他骗到底，然后就让他完全相信这个东西。
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet? Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. No, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books a lot.
I think she is a bad husband, not very nice or helpful.
我下午几点那个是1点数，对啊，没写，对啊，他没写我生日点都是几点？我2点，好，我要点2次我才知道几点。我2点升级点数，上哪一升？但现在这些思绪没几个能用的，有点不太想动。还是要把这个，然后用1点升级点数点博学多闻，然后再把这个金耳朵放进去，五感发达放进去。因为怎么看都是 A 盒，怎么看都蛮划得来的。好吧，就修这个。然后再，因为它之后博学多会少一点，所以就把它升上去。铅球13块，这个想去买，不能拿起来。是吧？平常不要拿着手电筒，平常拿着手电筒感觉有点扁。
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
我操，3%！修蛋姐，我标新立异也没很低耶，5点哎，标新立异5哎，为什么？为什么才3%？哦，现场目击者。很多弹孔。加1反应速度，减1能延3道。还算了。
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You knock silently. The upholstery muffled.
I guess no one is in. Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the ELYSIUM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about.
The lieutenant merely nods. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Well, buddy, you opened it. No need to go inside. It would be rude. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might.
对啊，我也在思考要不要进去。要进去到可能当手电筒吧。哦，没有啊。来看里面有什么东西。三把衣服的小手提箱，竹节虫的隐藏世界。
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
瓦瑞肖宗主国的旗帜。
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
七日奇迹。
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
强身健体，逻辑思维。
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered, a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
好，是个种族主义者是吗？
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Wording's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
There must be another way into the building.
哇，吐好大声哦！为什么？
Can't get involved in this.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you
哇，
for a while.
刚为什么突然变那么大声啊？
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
肌肉发达的家伙。
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
雪花覆盖在破旧的阳台，
A downy blanket of white to cover up the miserable poverty of the scene.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, snow continues to pile on the neighboring windowsills.
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
马丁内斯，
That's definitely not his
这
real
不是名
name.
字，马丁内斯这里的地名好不好？
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? I'd even go so...
We will remove the...
Oh,
Wait, is someone else
no, not you. Some more...
And when did you...
Last week?
a downy?
You didn't answer...
It was my Sunday friend.
He doesn't reply.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains? For a moment, the man on the balcony seems
我就
almost
知道好险，我
vulnerable.
把循序三又把它
Something
点上
moves
去，
in the depths of his feline eyes,
总觉得
compassion and a hint of understanding. There's snow gathering on his hair and on his shoulders, a speckle of white against the purple that hangs loose on his slender frame.
我总觉得循序三又应该是用得到，所以就把它点上去。
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers as
Oh.
though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door.
算暗示嘛，前门旁边一块石头。
It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
还有一个提示，应该是要把钥匙放着的位置。
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
我猜这是石头了，
A stone like any other,
我猜
lying
下面
in
有
a
钥
whirl of
匙，
sleet and mud.
应该下面
Maybe
有钥
there's
匙。
a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments and the man can be in any of them. We'll just have to go in and see.
这是哪？ 招宠物，加以逻辑思维，减一增胜好强。
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers, the iconography of communism. In other words, the star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure, to symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it. The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it.
有欣喜的话，应该这个无所应该不太可能吧
？Because white is the color of peace. Communism is the ideology of gutless intellectuals and clueless university students. They don't care about the real working man.
所以，就算他真的画上五星旗，我想他们也不该说什么吧？他们应该也不敢说什么吧？因为这好像是俄罗斯那个开发商好像是俄罗斯的。
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, Number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far.
手里没有工具，没有工具捡拾。好，等一下哦。
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
What are you doing?
连续2次失败，而且还是2个一是绝对失败，我操！什么鬼
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
He's just trying to help. Don't.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
大小有没有那么倒霉的第一次也就算了，第二次72%的我，结果知道2个一绝对失败。
This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud.
After you, Detective.
A plaster-cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns.
所以说我完全不适合抽卡。
Reads,
看到没有
Kraz Mazov.
72%的几率还可以指出绝对失败。
Kraz Mazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a theoretical historian. He was a leading figure in the Grad side of the turn-of-the-century revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. I suspect that's exactly what they are trying to do. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
plaster cast. The lieutenant raises a brow.
Thank you for sharing this wonderful opinion on human sexuality. There aren't many communists.
The lieutenant.
Thank you for sharing this wonderful. There aren't many.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
他有时候声音突然变得好大声哦。
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you...
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
这个阿伯做危险哦。
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
算了，我还是
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
我是觉得阿伯有点，我还是要不要？我还是觉得还是帮他叫个救护车比较好。
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways. If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company, and that's all I need from this world.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
阿伯，你有他说你耶？
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Ask away, policeman. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died.
No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again, breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now? Ah, all I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm than good.
看来这个阿伯不太关心政治。
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
阿伯，阿伯， 你们手怕你咳出了什么东西？如果是血块的话，如果我劝你还是赶快住院比较好。
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Espérance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know?
阔头
Date of
CD，
birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
She's grown frustrated with her work and welcomes the opportunity to challenge authority in other ways. That smell coming from her paint bucket, it's not paint, it's heavy fuel oil. Red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles, or at least that's the idea.
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here though. Just union cats. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
或者说这个国家的人都好不友善。为什么他们这边到处都有钱啊？为什么里面有裤子啊？啊，不会吧？这就是那个阿伯住，这应该是那个阿伯住的地方。 他说他好像住在那个燃煤那个煤市。这是另一个出口，伟岸公寓。
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture.
Excuse me? Of course.
There's no sweet talking your way in there. You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously
房屋
hating
中
you.
介吗？
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. Be friendly.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but...
yeah.
And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny.
我想我的钱也消失了。No， 这不是你的钱好吗？你是怎样早上进去然后把钱全部拿走是不是？虽然我确实拿了不少钱，你的钱并没有消失。OK。
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark.
离你何路？你搞错啊！生活气息浓，你是认真的吗？通风良好，这是监狱吧？这个。
I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
活力四射，我怎么总觉得这边活力四射的只有码头工人吧？那其他人好像都死气沉沉的。
The radio computer wizards are invested with magical economic powers.
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Oh, I do like wizards, and people like that in general. They have a lot to tell us about our fates.
She means clairvoyance.
哎，他什么时候走的啊？间接征税模式加1，我不太懂意思。哈？间接征税模式加1？
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet? Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal, ultra liberal. They're either a gateway drug or a booster pack to get you deeper into free market ideology.
这边到处都是钱啊，真的到处都是钱。人家他们这边的租屋是人家都喜欢把钱随便乱放，是不是？This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow.
对，今天是礼拜几？哦，今天是周二。
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
哎呀，没什么新的。好，可以找那个小姐聊一聊。
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCN. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on his interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual.
他在从一次不寻常的医疗状况中康复，非常不寻常。
There's a trace of irony in his voice, mischief even. This is a tactic.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. 20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samoan and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavour. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? We built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plaza's meteor and mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Yeah.
This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
前2次的罢工是一个要求加班工资跟医疗保险，我怎么觉得为什么这个东西要靠罢工来争取 ？Why？ 医疗保险跟加班工资，这边的资本这边这个资本主义比我想的好像来的腐败的更多了。就要靠罢工来争取加班的工资，还有医疗保险。
Ludicrous even, it's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
哦，他们这是要求的是股份，我是觉得股份就有点夸张了。
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
An opening gambit, surely.
So I hoped. But this type of opening is usually followed by a more reasonable offer. I have yet to hear one. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union. The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Have you seen him? Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers. Everard Clare...
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her...
Of course.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet now he is the most corrupt in... Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his... It's how they circumvent the term limits. Of course. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of
前
story.
任领袖失踪啊！哦，这下有趣了。
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
我靠你妈，刚才找到外景真呢。
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear.
Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia? I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge, though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love? Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted. But you keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets. Literally murder all human beings, regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy, and everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? Failure. It's about failure. Of course you do. You are failure. You are communism. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped, shat on. While everyone else is out partying, having a callous, you alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will fail to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You now get to work, comrade. Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this. Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? There's no one. Okay then, lie down and let the water carry you downstream.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced bet.
He doesn't let it show. But there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all. I'm sure you will, Detective. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are said. What I propose is, we ask her, then...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water. Almost what I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare?
所以我要用不寻常的方式去给他套嘛，好吧？要不寻常的话。
Just? In what way? Of course. Some of them, at least. The ones who work for him. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? No, wait. Actually, corruption. That's how he's done it.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it? Why, if I may ask, why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
Yes, Detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
Very curious. A very curious thing to do.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, man. And then talks about them, even if it's inappropriate.
A strange equanimity has overtaken the lieutenant. He's just going with the flow now. Easier that way.
What else? Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his when I said be wacky, I didn't mean wild.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detect...
A striking woman.
Good afternoon. Joyce L. Messier. Beaton, my maiden name. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
She is unfazed by your rudeness, probably chalking it up to local custom.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this...
That is good to hear, madame. My
There's a trace of...
How interesting.
It's hard to get a read on her.
Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas a la Mer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Okay, if you want to get technical, the point is we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
这样搞得好像我想一样，但是我没有。
Before you do, it might be pertinent to ask a few more questions. Learn whatever you can about this boat of hers.
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though my sloop, I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator?
Then what does that say? Does it say 33A, this old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive both.
Your synapses flesh.
Okay, it is anti-centennial. I assure you they drove quite a hard bargain for this space, but you're right. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my fast, lightweight, interminably bourgeois boat.
There is no shame in her voice. A touch of sadness, yes, but no.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol...
Detective, may I remind you that...
Then what does that 33A, this old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata. Yes, anyway, good. This reality.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
总之，我现在就是要做的就是分散他的注意力。
Are they now?
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol, and the bay feeds into the ocean. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her, and to humanity at large.
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city. The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat, depending on your creed. In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago, they say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. Oh, we're quite a way off. About 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the Bank of the World building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
去现实化。 这个研究完成。每次点击球里时，经验值加1，所有智力学习上限 A 好像，经验值加1，好像其实不怎么好用，想要这个就不用。
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Madame Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late. For the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective, or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement.
这个它是世界观已经大到我现在已经有点，光是人种的部分，它人种部分就分好几种，四五个人种，然后哇。
Some were rich enough to stay
这大概
with
要
the
笔记来记
Constitution
了。
with monarchy. Big mistake.
然后
Others
现在
bet
就
on the revolution. They were called the ultras or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
也有些部分已经开始有点那个，我有点那个脑子快打结。
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention, the coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay, the arms center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
啊，这边的字重叠啊，这边的字没有弄啊，被字重叠。
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
That's the way of history. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Which one? Actually, it doesn't matter. King Guillaume has always been my favourite. He could smell a PR disaster brewing. So he got out alive, and his nephew, Fricelle, got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Sarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government. It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors and rock music, but they didn't know anything about prions. Nobody did.
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie?
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations, and you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune. Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-estuary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere. No, it was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash. An Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality, baby.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom. I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company. They picked the winning. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I would have sided 10 of the 14 in... Good question. What would you have done differently? And I asked you, philosopher detective of the Citizens Militia. You and everyone else. But that's got nothing to do with preventing the revolution.
吹捧自由市场酒吃。
What was, I guess. Good question. What would you have done differently? So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with the technology 50 years ago? Liquidate? That's what King Philip kept screaming from the Sol Aurum. Liquidate! Liquidate! In the end, they liquidated the Sol Aurum, melted the palace cube down to gold and platinum, and sold it for bullets. Strange times.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable. They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor, a devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra. An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal from the revolution. It's not the moderate kind. Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You've got Revachol in your blood. A real nationalist. No? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride. Forgive her, but only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly. I hope we're able to remain friends, despite my scaly bulk and my love of regicide and homosexuality. The loss of sovereignty was not our plan all along, I assure you. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes, an oil fire on the ocean.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course. Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
够练台前卖差。
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture. Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
And what would that be? I can see that, yes. I dabbled in those dark arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. All permeating. Downright mandatory. Nothing infra about disco, baby. Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still enjoyable facet of the whole thing for me. The new, a cultural era, and the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It came out of post-revolutionary Revachol. It was ultra-liberal. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age.
这是白色的检定，白色检定还可以多读几次。
6 kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Temple takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass.
哇，运气超好！
To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
You? You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso Mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
你说事实上什么意思？
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are to me is the police, the only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
他现在确认我是警察，他现在已经完全确认我是警察。
And if the law officials of our nation need help with the basic terms of reality, well, then I am here to help. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law
像后面
enforcement
应该他
body
不会，
of
后面他应该就不会
post-revolutionary
要求我再拿
Revachol,
出那个
Detective.
拿出证件。
Yes, we are the Revachol.
He's being
We are.
Yes, that means the RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
基本上我们就是资本的狗腿子，差不多意思了吧？这么说也是没错啦，资本的狗腿。
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you. The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuke. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if the law officials of our nation need help with the basic terms of reality, well, then I'm here to help. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else I can do? Of course, Detective.
Hey. Psst. Yes, you.
先在这边做一个先存档一下。其实已经诱导完了。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not.
这边之前
That's
都
the problem.
提过，
Now
现在
they
现在
won't
可以
even
那
let
个
me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth block. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RC.
But the strike began in...
I wasn't the original negotiator.
This isn't the first time.
Heavens, no. There have been 2...
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator. There are leaflets everywhere, and ban every worker.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes it, just so you understand.
An opening gambit, surely.
So I hope. And now...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
Oh, 他自己，他这边对话变了耶，他自己提到施洗的事情，我还没问他哎。
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates, the one whose very name...
This checks out.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost intelligence.
She's being sarcastic.
Of course not. Everard is
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is... Yes. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. With a funny little... The Débardeurs Union was once a organised labour at its best, as they say.
A mob. The Débardeurs are...
Refreshingly honest, officer. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. I'm glad you asked. There was...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local downright haunting, the point of the present...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your...
Of course, ma'am. And this is my code...
Oh, and what...
Awkwardness washes over the conversation.
I see. Oh dear.
She must have been...
As I said, ma'am.
Of course, I sympathize.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator.
I will be frank with you.
You're in.
Reports from inside terminal.
They're profiting.
The company has or
Detective.
就还是那个，那还是要让我换个方式跟他说，要不然是从别的地方下手。
You're back. Good. What we do?
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistic, and that is the term.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the
难度
original
有点高哎。
Venezuelan Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can, and to think there are years when the group books losses in the billions. Warpines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility. They started as centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge. You know more than you let on. You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo, there are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
Oh, 10分钱。每点击一个小球就获得10分钱，感觉好像不赖耶。我在考虑要不要10分钱。每点一个绿色球体就有10分，点10个就1块钱。为什么那么穷啊？为什么？算了，我没有多余的点数。
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
More lessons in basic reality? Glad to have been of assistance. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
对啊，这穷鬼警察
I
超
believe the
穷的。
official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago. Now they won't even let me in. Yes. Let's say I was...
And when did you?
I arrived...
But the
I wasn't the original...
This isn't the first.
Heavens, no.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
There are leaflets every worker.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
这边要不寻常，我不知道该怎么不寻常。
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time, just so you understand.
An opening gambit, surely.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling...
Excuse me.
I first heard it from the boyer at...
This checks out.
The scabs? You mean the huddle if they were organized?
It's implied. She's...
Mr. Fuck off, midget. Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator. Everard Clare is a...
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
Of course not. Everard is fantastic.
If you were to prick him...
Oh, heavens, no. We get along. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, yes, Edgar looks it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. The débardeurs organise labor...
A mob. The débardeurs are a crime...
Refreshingly honest. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person. Why do you think so?
因为不寻常的方法，所以呢，我知道点一些我不太可能会点的。他们是善良的工人，我操！如果要不寻常，就要稍微有点有点不是那么的
Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. They're an interesting composition, albeit vile. But enough about Everard.
对啊。
What else can I do for you?
毕竟他要我用不寻常的方式。
Everard Clare.
She's being sarcastic.
Of course not.
If you were to prick him with something
He is the most corrupt Yes. It's how they circumvent the débardeurs organise...
A mob.
Refreshingly. And your opinion, why do you think so? Ha! A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about? I'm glad you asked.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter does it? The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, man. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare? Of course. He must have his practical uses. How else could he have kept his position all these years? Or wait, he could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, worm-like corruption that reaches into the bowels of the earth.
The RCM does not pick sides in this, madame. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it? Why, if I may ask?
Yes, detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
Very curious.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, man. And then talks about them. Even
a strange equanimity has overtaken.
What else? Of course, detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
She's not even asking you anything.
Did you now? The strike brew. Beyond curious. I will choose to interpret that as you turning the alcohol in the strike brew down. For the sake of our professional relationship. And because I don't like the idea of them any more drunk than they already are. Did you now?
You're right, detective. That whole undertaking was very unimportant. Why did we do it?
Very curious. A very curious thing to do.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does
a strange equanimity.
What else? Of course, detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. Quite a few things The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets.
Of course, ma'am. And this is my...
Oh.
Awkwardness washes up.
I see. So, are
不寻
you
常啊！好啊，
saying
就
you
选
lost
这个
your
啦。
badge? Oh dear. I I suppose this does explain some of the more
本来可以吃掉
curious
它的。
turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, he's the...
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply...
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. I mean, favors for favors. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning.
Of course, the situation is...
不行啊，该选都选完了，不知道怎么叫怎么不寻常呢？我觉得难度好高哦。我觉得稍不寻常的部分难度有点高哦。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella. Very rugged. Good choice. I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of full...
Easy. Just offer a...
I will be frank with you.
You're in.
Reports from inside the company has... Or...
Detective, a word in private. This is not going quite as I hoped. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her head. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about you.
He doesn't let it show. But there is a limit to how much the... Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. Yes. Knowing this does not really change our position, however. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, what I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is...
The situation might have changed drastically.
You could request a new one from your station. I'm sure you will, Detective.
所以这边一定会发生吗？一定是找他2次吗？
Good. What can I help you with?
所以基本上这一定会发生，还会再回来找他一
It's
次。
quite straightforward. Someone is using terminal
好吧，
B
是注定
to
会
smuggle
发生。
raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
看来是注定会发生的，一定会发生这件事。
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, after they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
哦，所以他有找过，但是问题是关于管辖范围的问题呢，每个地方在每个分局都有产生的分歧，是吧？
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
那谈话的司机也就一个啊，就是那个在货车后面的一个。
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorry man would confide in.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other...
好吧，我也只能去查那个了，查走私。哎，这边什么时候有个人啊？我没搞砸。
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes! It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting dirt reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
胶的拿出回收袋，哈哈哈哈哈。
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now?
我看到胶的拿出回收袋会怎么样
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business.
对啊，我看到胶的拿出回收袋，看会怎么样
It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee. No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday.
No one has been guarding the...
Yes,
Look, officer,
the possibility of some...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man... Oh, I didn't mean to imply there's something wrong with that. I do it too. Everyone does it. It's an
这是
excellent
个
side
忙的
thing.
副业。
Yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now?
He is not going to become an entrepreneur.
Yes, it does. No one.
No one?
Yes,
Look, officer,
the
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal...
Yes.
He is
好吧
not，going to
看不下去
become
了
an。
She is nobody. This is none of your concern. And I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway. So might as well keep an eye out. He keeps my Isabelle McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This
one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? I understand. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to tell you. These BMs are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience. I knew we could trust you.
他良知的国度是什么？
Real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, we are all going to be so much happier.
良知的国度，扣2疑神疑鬼啊！不过研究时间蛮短。到了加对话选项加1士气，这好像还好。不过学历上限可以提高到汉这边有什么？我有点想把这个遗忘掉，因为他给我扣一个增强好胜，好麻烦。算了，我花点数把这个取消掉。我把增强是取消掉。啊，时间差不多了，我明天再来问公车司，我明天再来问卡车司机吧。好，今天就玩到这边了，那下礼拜再继续吧。好，这样晚安了。